So gentlemen, welcome. Thank you very much for being here as the Greater Beaumont Chamber of Commerce's 2021 Candidate Forum. I think that we've talked a little bit about kind of the ground rules. So why don't we just get right into it and ask you all some questions. We're going to start with you, Mr. Getz. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We're going to give you 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, first, thank you to the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce for allowing us to be here today and have this forum. I grew up in the city of Port Arthur, and I moved to Beaumont when I enrolled in Lamar University in 1978, and I graduated from that institution. I have lived in the West End of Beaumont since 1982, and I've lived at 4 different locations in the West End, so I'm very familiar with the West End, and specifically Ward 2. I'm married to Allison Nathan Getz, who is our county tax assessor collector, and together we have 3 successful adult children. I've been a longtime member of the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce, and I appreciate all that the Chamber does for our community. Some of the boards and offices that I've been on is Leadership Beaumont. I'm a graduate of that. I was a president of the Downtown YMCA when that organization was going on. I've also served as, and continue to serve as, president of the Beaumont Temple Emmanuel Brotherhood Group. I have the desire and ability and passion to be your city councilman for another term. I practiced law in the city of Beaumont for 30 years. I retired last year, and I have more time and energy to give to public service than I've had in the past, although I think I've given a lot in the past 10 years that I've served as your city councilman. So I am looking forward to continuing that tradition and working as your city councilman for Ward 2.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Haynes, same thing. 3 minutes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Miles Haynes. I'm running for City Council Ward 2. I've been in Beaumont for the last 14 years. A lot of people come to Beaumont and sometimes they leave. I'm the individual who came and I stayed and I made this my home. Came here for Lamar University. I've got my undergraduate and master's degree from Lamar University. And my master's is focused on local government. It's focused on city budget. I read and understand the city budget, which I think is important to want to run for the city council. I received my master's in 2013. I've been a part of Leadership Beaumont, which is a successful program, as you may know. I was also a part of Greater Beaumont Chamber executive mentorship program. So they paired you up with a leader in the community. So I've been a part of that. I was the president of Rotaract. I was also part of Beaumont Community Players. I won Best Ensemble Actor. So I've been involved in the community, and what it taught me is that there are many layers to city council and how city council impacts the rest of our community. So I'm excited. We have a 2-year-old and we have one on the way. We have a young family. We believe that the growth of Beaumont is important. The safety of Beaumont is important, and data is going to be important on how we measure those things moving forward. So I'm excited about running for City Council Ward 2 and, meeting so many citizens and learning their concerns and seeing that we do need a change at the position at City Council Ward 2. My name is Miles Haynes, and I'm running for City Council Ward 2. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to start with you, Mr. Haynes, when we get to the Q&A portion. Why are you running? Why do you want to be a city councilor?
City council is very important, and it impacts so many areas of our community. I think a lot of people have had a lot of discussions on the national scale of politics and everything that goes into it. But I think people are now focusing on the local because it impacts your everyday bills, your everyday life, streets, your drainage, sewage, your parks, your transportation. All these things are impacted by city council. I got my master's in public administration, which is a focus on local government. It's a focus on the city budget. And I've understood that our taxes are increasing and our quality of services sometimes seem to not be there. We're not using efficient data. So I want to be an individual that moves data forward correctly.
Thank you. Mr. Getz, why would you like to be city councilor?
I have been your city councilman in Ward 2 for the last 10 years, and that has given me the opportunity to create 5 neighborhood associations in which I interact with our citizens on a monthly basis. being a city councilman is about listening to your constituents and being their voice on city council. I also know how to read a budget. I've been doing so for 10 years. I understand what the city of Beaumont budget is all about. I understand the needs of the city of Beaumont. These are things that you have learned from experience. I'm experienced in understanding our infrastructure needs. I'm experienced in getting things done to take care of our infrastructure needs. And I do think that is one of the big things that we have to look at in the city of Beaumont going forward is ways of improving our infrastructure.
Thank you, sir. We're going to stay with you, Mr. Getz. How does your professional career and community involvement position you for this office?
As an attorney that has practiced in Beaumont for 30 years, I had to learn how to listen to people and come up with solutions to deal with their problems. It is the same as being on city council. You have got to listen to people, your constituents, and come up with solutions to deal with their problems. I have been trained to do this for 30 years, although now I'm doing it at a substantial reduction in pay. I enjoy doing it because it is rewarding, it is fulfilling. It goes back to my Boy Scout training when they taught us to be helpful to all people at all times. And I had those values instilled in me as a young person, and I carry them forward still today.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Haynes, same question. How does your professional career and community involvement position you for this office?
Well, I've been a part of Leadership Beaumont. I was a mentor in the Greater Beaumont Chamber Executive Mentorship Program. I've been a part of Rotaract. I was the president of Rotaract. I got my master's in public administration, which is focused on local government. It's focused on the numbers and our taxes, our sales tax, our hotel occupancy tax, our property tax, and how we grow and improve a community. I've studied that in college. I've spent so many hours doing that. But experience is one thing. Listening is a basic skill set we should all have. And I've done that for years. I'm married to my beautiful wife, and we have a daughter, and that teaches you how to listen. So I think, it's essential that we actually grow our community. I believe that we've been stagnant, and there's so much drama and negativity around the narrative of city council. And we need to eliminate that to move forward to improve our business community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're going to stick with you, Mr. Haynes. Next question. What do you see as the single most pressing need for your ward, and how do you propose to address it?
I believe the single most pressing need for Ward 2 is having ward-specific data around business community. Our business community, we don't have the metrics or the data to know how many businesses have left. In this recent pandemic, we're coming out of pandemic where our city is made up of 32% of our revenue for the city is due to sales tax. That is down, and it probably will still be down as we move forward a little bit, and maybe we'll trend in the right direction. But that's important, getting our business community back afloat. We have a lot of roads like Major that's extended all the way to I-10, and there's maybe some areas that we could capitalize on to help grow the business community and support the business community. So I think getting the sales tax back up, we only the revenue comes to 32%. So the most pressing issue is getting the sales tax back up and improving that number from 32% to higher. We need more revenue in our city so we don't tax our citizens on the back end.
Thank you. Mr. Getz, same question. Single most pressing need for your ward, and how do you propose to address it?
I think the single most pressing need for Ward 2 is to address infrastructure and the challenges that we have as a city with some older infrastructure. And that includes things like your streets, your sewer lines, your water lines. The city of Beaumont has begun an aggressive street rehabilitation program. We've replaced thousands and thousands of linear feet of sewer pipe, including in Ward 2. We actually have ward-specific data. You have to know how to access it or how to request it. But for instance, just in the Amelia neighborhood alone, in the last 5 years, we have replaced 27,000 linear feet of sewer line. We have almost every street in Amelia has received an asphalt overlay, and we have improved substantially the infrastructure in the Amelia. That goes true throughout Ward 2, but there is ward-specific data available. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Getz, we'll stick with you. Next question, discuss the importance of harmony amongst the council and how you would work to accomplish that.
You know, my opponent has frequently criticized council for being combative and disjointed and drama. I don't find that to be the case. In fact, the data actually suggests otherwise. 93.5% of the time, all of our votes are unanimous. So there are ways to agree without being disagreeable, and that is a function of the mayor and as the leader of the meeting to make sure things don't get off kilter. But as far as lack of harmony there, I think it was George Patton that said that if everybody is thinking the same, then somebody's not thinking. I will say what I think if I think something is not right, and I've done that in the past, and I pledge to continue to do so in the future.
Thank you. Mr. Haynes, same question. The importance of harmony amongst the council and how you would work to accomplish that.
Well, one, we have to identify that there's not harmony right now. I think every current councilman has made a statement about that. Every individual that's running for city council, you can go watch, do a fact check me, and go see what they're saying about the culture and nature of city council. My opponent is the only individual that thinks that there is no drama or divisiveness in city council, which could be far from the truth. We want to date myself back to the ward-specific data. When in the spirit of transparency, we should be providing our citizens with the information, not asking them to search for something. When we're the current councilmen, we should provide that access to our citizens so that we know how we're moving forward correctly. Harmony, unity is about knowing how we grow moving forward, and we need ward-specific data on that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So last question we have, Mr. Haynes, we'll start with you. What role does local government play in supporting small and medium business and enabling economic development?
Well, the role of city council is to work on the infrastructure, the sewage drainage, which impacts where the people have access to certain businesses. The business community is the private sector. Obviously, we have a partnership with the Beaumont Chamber, and they're trying to economically develop our area as well. But city council, the goal is to improve the infrastructure, improve the parks, so that we can retain citizens that they can utilize these businesses. Now, the revenue is only 32% on our sales tax in. We need to increase that. That needs to be the role. Right now, I don't know what initiatives have been done for the last 10 years to help grow the number of 32%. Our riverfront park that's coming, these are as a byproduct of catastrophes in our area, flooding and incidents that have happened. These are not due to revenue. And so we need to put more of a focus on the revenue so we can support our business community in that. And right now, I don't think we're doing that.
Okay. Mr. Getz, same question. What role does local government play in supporting small and medium business and enabling economic development?
The local government plays a vital role in supporting our small businesses and promoting economic development. And we demonstrate our commitment to that role by collaborating with organizations like the Chamber of Commerce to go out and try to get businesses to relocate into Beaumont. We try to diversify our economy, again, relying largely upon the Chamber of Commerce. We give the Chamber of Commerce a substantial amount of money each year to play the role of being our economic development arm. We don't have an EDC in the city of Beaumont. We've never done that. That's a conversation that I'm willing to have. But as it stands now, we rely primarily on the chamber to go out and work with us. And I think the city of Beaumont can do more, and I think under new leadership will do more.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes the Q&A portion. We're really right to the close right now. And Mr. Getz, we're going to start with you. You have 1 minute. Why should somebody vote for you?
People should vote for me because they know that I am responsive, I am open and accessible, I am transparent, and I am hardworking. When a citizen needs to have something done in Ward 2, or actually throughout the city, I get calls from other wards as well. If they have a problem or an issue with something that is city related, they know they can call me and I will address that issue to the very best of my ability. And they know that I'm tenacious, that I will not give up on it. I will work until a solution is found or until I'm told that unfortunately, there is no solution for this issue. It's very rare that no solution is able to be found. And I pride myself on being the voice of the constituents of Ward 2.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Haynes, same thing. Why should somebody vote for you?
Well, I'm running for city council. I'm Miles Haynes. I want your vote because we don't have a lot of ward-specific data at this point to measure how we're going to grow moving forward. The city of Beaumont has been stagnant, but my incumbent here and other people cannot measure that. We don't know what that looks like on a numerical standpoint. My opponent is unsuccessful in getting a dog park. So when we talk about getting things done and getting 4 votes, that's not working out at this point. I think he's struggling to get the 4 votes for certain projects that he's leading, like the Dowling Road extension. It's been pending for so long. And these are things that we need to understand as citizens. If we want to select someone to represent us, we want them to have that interpersonal skill set to go within city council and get the job done. And so I thank you guys for your support. I want to be the new leader moving forward, focused on data and moving our city forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I want to thank you both for being here. We very much appreciate your insights. We wish you the best of luck